Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, January the 1st, 2021. Yay!
Holy cow, it's a new year. Let's hope. Let's just all be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything. Don't make eye contact.
Just make sure this thing pans out before we get too
Don't
comfy.
declare this is your year. Let's just come in real quiet like.
We all did that a year ago, didn't we? We were like, 2020 is going to be an awesome year.
Yeah.
So, 2021, ladies and gentlemen. New Year's Day today. It's also National Bloody Mary Day today.
You know, that's not something I've ever gotten
Me neither.
into. I've got a lot of friends who absolutely
your
love
dad.
it. It actually surprises me that you don't like them because you like red beer.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan. Your dad made one, and he's like, oh, you want one of these? And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I took a little sip. I'm like, yeah, you can have the rest.
That's not my thing.
It is National Hangover Day today as well. And I'm super excited. This has been a tradition the last few years. On the first day of the year, whenever possible, and we've been able to do it, I think, 4 years in a row now, we have a guest, the Amazing Kreskin, joining us.
Oh, you love this guy.
I do. I love chatting with him. He's just a fun guy, and we've chatted several times throughout the year of 2020. It's just been really interesting. Neat guy, cool dude. Going to be chatting with him coming up in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A poll of U.S. adults found 77% said this year was worse than last year. Well, 11% said that it was better than last year. So fully 59% of Americans said they think 2021 will be better than 2020, but 17% think that it'll be worse. 12% say it'll be the same. It's not a big deal. It'll be about the same. So I feel as though I'm ripping you off because usually I have 2 surveys, but I had another one here. I just don't know where I put it. It was saying the number of people who thought 2020 was better than 2019. So there apparently are some people who said last year was even better than 2019 was. So I don't know who these people were. Maybe the CEO of Amazon or something.
Exactly. Now those people had a banner year.
Apparently. Yeah. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A California man is accused of biting a canine police officer and then barking at other officers after leading them on a pursuit. Police say the man had been drinking and that methamphetamines were found in his van.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me at all.
If you're saying this just doesn't seem like something that would happen, well, when you add drinking and methamphetamines, you could pretty much fill in the blanks after that with just about anything. And we always talk
poor
about...
little dog.
I know. We always talk about people who do dumb things under the influence, but I do want to remind you that addiction is no laughing matter. If that's something that you're trying to fix in 2021, you're saying, hey, I want to kick the year off in a better way. Again, our sponsor of this is timeforrehab.com. And we get letters from people all the time that have gone through that and
have gotten some assistance.
And I love that. By the way, if you do go through it, and I'm never going to share your name on the radio, but if you do that, please let us know, because it does help me feel better about doing these silly stories. Because there are times that I do this and I go, boy, maybe we shouldn't do this. Then I'll get a letter like the very next day from somebody that said, hey, this changed my life. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not making fun of the people. We're making fun of the silly things they did. So I don't know. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. 2020 did have some bright spots. Early in the year, Netflix announced a way to disable the autoplay trailers I'm talking about a feature that starts playing trailers for whichever title you stop on while you're scrolling through. If that drives you crazy on Netflix and you want to turn that off, I've got a link that has all of the information on how to do it. And then that's in the show notes for today. And then I've also got a list here of the most surprising thing, the worst movies of 2020. The surprising thing is that there's a whole big long list.
Really weren't many movies of
but there's a long
2020.
list. No particular order on here. Doolittle is one of the worst. I didn't even see that. The Wrong Missy, I thought was really good.
I kind of liked that
and
one.
we talked to one of the folks that was in that movie. One of the Missy. I don't know which one. The right Missy or the wrong
really
Missy.
liked that actress, the one who played the wrong Missy.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was really
she
funny.
was hilarious.
Antebellum is another one that they say was bad. Fantasy Island, Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace, The Tax Collector, The War with Grandpa, Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, and Artemis Fowl.
we saw that one.
Yeah,
That was
I
terrible.
like, that was really
that
good.
was bad.
Yeah, and Artemis Fowl. So that's the list of movies that did not do so great last year. There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. Hey, if you want to eat healthier in 2021, does it feel weird saying that?
No, I have been practicing for about 8 months.
It still feels weird to me. But they're saying that is not a great New Year's resolution. Doctors were asked to share what they felt were the worst health-related resolutions, and they say eat healthier comes out on the top of the worst.
Why is that? You would
They
think...
say the problem is people often do not know exactly what this means. And the resolution, I'm just going to eat healthier, that's not specific enough. They say it would be more helpful for an individual to first define what
exactly
eating healthy
what healthy
is,
eating is. Okay.
and then have a plan on what it is for them to
Sure.
follow through and do it. And next, they should be specific about what changes they plan to make to their diet to ensure that they are eating healthier. And I have a full list of 10 different things, the worst New Year's resolutions. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today. If you're one of the 40% of the people who are going to make a resolution today for New Year's, don't feel bad if you stumble. Experts say by January 14th, that's 2 weeks from now, Heidi,
Okay.
over a third of resolution makers will have quit. The number one resolution every year?
Lose weight.
Yes. Followed by?
Eat healthier.
No. Exercise more.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think number 3 is?
I don't know.
Be a better person.
Really?
Yeah. Heidi's like, well, when you're perfect like me, why would you even want to be?
Can't improve on perfection.
I'm already going to fail this one. Can't get no better than the best.
Oh.
So, 40% of people, though, make resolutions, and then they stumble by the 14th of January. A whole bunch of them do. So, and then last thing on the list here, several people referred to the extra weight they put on in 2020.
It's COVID weight.
They added their COVID-19,
Yeah.
so... but if you're trying to drop these quarantine pounds this year, they say whatever the plan is, a researcher says you're better off throwing your 2020 goals out right now because fewer get accomplished. So change things up and make yourself happier. Expect motivation and well-being claims resolutions to be better for you personally in the long run. So if you're saying, hey, I want to be motivated to read a book every month, whatever.
Okay.
So those kind of things, you're going to do better at those. They say we found when people are focused on giving to others, they experience deeper satisfaction when their goals are more self-oriented. For example, experiments show that doing something benevolent for others, even when you never meet the beneficiary, increases your positive mood and energy. So they're saying do something good for other people. So if your
That
goal
I agree
is
with.
your goal is, you know what, I'm going to help somebody every week.
Yeah. That's
And
nice.
that help somebody could be financial help. It could be opening the door for somebody, but somehow I am going to help somebody every
Yeah.
week. If everybody did something like that, imagine what an awesome world we'd live in.
Yep.
And we'd want to keep our resolutions because then they feel pretty darn good, too. I've got a link to this story and all of the other things we were chatting about in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on New Year's Day. And this has become a little bit of a tradition here. We reach out the first day of the year and we talk to the Amazing Kreskin. We've got him on the line right now. Good day, sir. How are you?
I am, as I keep reassuring John, and folks, I'm not sure that he quite believes me, but I want John to know that I'm totally sober. Actually, the interesting thing is that because of the lack of travel and so forth that's taking place, I think one of the greatest mistakes our government, and it's going to be written about in books, is shutting down of cities and so forth, because most of the illnesses did not come from crowds, but came from private homes and what have you. But I think what's going to be interesting is that our government has made so much private money, because they put so many companies out of business, thousands in the United States, that they're thinking of shutting down also businesses on other planets. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. And by the way, I wish you a really happy New Year, this being the first day of the New Year, but I don't want people to think that I have any particular political position. I am not against politicians. I want you to understand that. I just wish that most of them had been on the Titanic. Other than that, John, things are good, and it's a new. Can you believe how many books do you think are going to be written about this past year?
Oh yeah.
I know people already who are involved in it, and the books, by the way, everyone is centering of course, we're talking about this terrible and tragic disease, but it's a far more complicated picture, a political picture as well, almost a sideshow. And if it were put into a movie that had no history behind it, people would say it's exaggerated. All of this couldn't happen in 1 year. If you know what I mean,
Exactly. As we sit on the beginning of a new year, I'm talking to the right guy. I have the Amazing Kreskin on the line. So what do we have in store for 2021? Is it going to be more of the same, or is it going to hopefully be a better year?
I think we're going to get out of it. We're going to find our hope right now is, and hopefully the disease will see its day. I think you're going to find 3 or 4 or 5, one of them, at least a gal, and I don't know who, coming out of had gone to university or what have you, but had decided that they're going to form an organization to insist that our government get things back in order again, repay the police, return the money to the police. It's due them instead of putting them out of business and putting us into great danger. And the first step is, if we're going to save this country, we better return money back to the police, because they have committed themselves. They're fine people. There's always a few bad exceptions, but there are even people in politics that are dishonest. I know this is controversial, but there are. So this is a whole different culture we're going through right now, and I love this country so much. I'm trying to get back the philosophy that this is a free country and a united country, because the unitedness has disappeared in our modern culture as they've segregated people, and the ability to express one freely. I mean, you have people today, famous people, who are afraid to say certain things, an opinion that they may lose their job. On the other side of the coin, I think people find it interesting. You're going to find a great interest again in spirit mediums and talking to the dead. And I don't mean politicians who are alive, because we presume they're already dead. But I'm talking about medium psychics and so forth. I don't talk to the dead, and I don't advise people in their future, what have you. But I tune in on people's thoughts and so forth. But the thing you got to realize, privacy is a total thing of the past, which unfortunately is going to cause people to become a little bit more uneasy when they're with people, because they don't know if it could be recorded or not recorded. But what is unbelievable, and I was just told, Kreskin, you don't know about this. I said, well, I know it was in preparation. We now have a process where we can reproduce a person's face, figure, mannerisms, and what have you, and the sound of their voice, so that you would swear it was a person across the street, the mayor of the city, some other person. In fact, a movie is coming out. I gave my word not to mention it. Everyone will recognize the person. You'll would be stunned if the person's still alive. You would swear that it had to be done when that person was alive, because we're now going to be able to electronically reproduce a person as they looked in real life.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us here on New Year's Day, and I hope we get to do this again next year.
And I won't say goodbye, but in the spirit of broadcasting, let's just say to be continued. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Again, The Amazing Kreskin, and the book is called The Adventures of the Amazing Kreskin. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Men tell more jokes than women. I wonder why that is.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Do I tell more jokes than you do?
It's not about quantity, John. It's about quality.
Bazinga! See? That's a pretty good joke right there. She's funny. I'm a lucky dude. She's my wife. She's my co-partner here. She's my co-pilot in the old radio program. I think, again, every couple is going to be different, but I think we kind of have an equal amount of jokes.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's one of the things that works really well. Even when there have been times that we'll be in the middle of an argument about something and one of us will drop a joke in the middle. It doesn't always work. Trust me. I've tried. Sometimes humor is lost. But no, men tell more jokes than women. That is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Japan. A 62-year-old Japanese man was arrested for eating his fill of sushi with no way to pay. They say he spent 6 hours. What? 6 hours?
6 hours?
Eating.
And nobody thought to stop him prior to that?
Apparently not. Eating plate after plate of sushi and downing a total of 10 cans of beer, knowing full well he had 10 cents in his pocket. When it became obvious to the waitstaff that the man was just trying to, get as much as he could, they finally called police. I'm sad to hear that he was in that situation, but you don't do that.
No, you don't do that. And I'm sure if he would have just asked the restaurant, look, I'm having hard times, can you please give me... Most of the time,
somebody would help.
People are willing to help.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the wrong way to do it. But hey, he made the international news.
He certainly did.
That's what happens. Oh no, that's not how I end that. I say that is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Texas high school student arrived to take his final exam in a hazmat suit. His family said the district is not doing enough to protect students and families from COVID. Houston teenager Mason Kalkofen showed up at his high school in a full hazmat suit. District mandated that virtual learners take their final exams on the school's campus. He said, I'm having to go in a hazmat suit. That way I can protect my family. And that's cool that he's thinking that way. He said, my mother, Margarita, she's at high risk of serious complications if she catches COVID-19. The family said they asked the school to allow him to take his exam virtually, but the request was refused. They said sent multiple letters home informing families of positive COVID cases at the school recently as well. So that's where they're going, if I have to go do this, I'm doing it safely. Interesting story. It's a little bit bizarre, and that's why it is today's Weird News. Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Incensed that his fellow Floridians were not wearing a mask at the pharmacy and the supermarket, a 62-year-old man warned them on Facebook that if he tests positive for coronavirus, he'd get head right down there and empty his clip. Every clip he owns.
Yikes.
Not a good plan.
Not smart.
Robert Kovner's post, they say, I find it criminal that you enter the supermarket or pharmacy without a mask, as if you're either too stupid to understand the dangers you're spreading or you're too selfish and you don't. Well, I can't say the rest of that. He's talking about endangering others, but here's the thing. Don't you think that would be endangering others if you went in and shot a bunch of people? The good news is he was arrested for this.
Good.
Because you don't do that.
Good.
The police say significance of threatening posts made on Facebook. He was arrested for threatening to conduct a mass shooting, which is a felony.
Yep.
So he got to go to jail for that. So don't do that. Even if he was saying, well, I was just saying something. Don't say something. Don't do that.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, it's just
what
crazy.
What is wrong with people?
Yeah, you don't say, I'm going to go in and shoot up the place. That's a bad idea. And you'll end up here in today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Jacksonville, Florida high school teacher was busted for trying to get drugs delivered to her while she taught at school. Fake news or Florida? It is a true story.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and I actually goofed up. I said high school teacher. She was an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, I remember that, though.
Yeah, I remember that too. Because didn't she call a police number instead?
I don't know. I don't remember how she got them, but I know she tried to have them delivered to the class.
I have a link to the story. Maybe I'll have to click on it. If I remember correctly, she sent a message, and it was like the person that she sent it to, it was one digit off, and she sent it to a detective or something. I don't know. Either way, Heidi was right. It was a Florida story. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida on The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org, which is good news on its own, by the way. It's, people doing good things for other people, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. But here, I love this. Here's the headline. How knitting is helping men recover from addiction. This is a cool story. Okay. Men at the Phoenix Society Recovery Center in British Columbia are learning how to knit to help break their cycle of addiction. And I see a photo here. These guys are all wearing their masks, and they're kind of sitting around a table. And there's some pretty cool-looking hats on that table. Little did Nelson Mendoza know that picking up a pair of knitting needles in prison would lead him to accidentally creating a group of so-called tokers at the recovery facility where he would end up. He says, at first, I thought people are going to think I'm weird or whatever. And Nelson went on to say, and once I started to knit in public, I didn't really care what people thought. I just enjoy doing it, so I'm going to do it. Now, as many as 10 men at a time are sitting down to knit some yarn together. They've made about 200 toques, which are hats.
Okay.
They've ended up as gifts for loved ones, donations to women's recovery homes, and many other things. It says, in many ways, knitting is a metaphor for starting something new and changing things one stitch at a time.
That's pretty great.
It really is. This gentleman, Nelson, has been in and out of prison for 20 years, and he said, this is the happiest I've ever been.
Oh.
So it just feels really good because they say this is not only giving me something to do, but I'm doing something nice for somebody else.
Right.
Which we talked about earlier in the program.
Yes, we did.
So I think because earlier we were talking about if you want to set a New Year's resolution that you're going to keep, make sure you have some sort of reward for other people in there as well. Because if you're saying, I'm going to do something nice for somebody every week, that's going to help you. And that's exactly what they're doing. And there are many men now who have joined him in this endeavor, and they get to take a lot of donations.
At first it really wasn't a very popular thing.
It's a cool story. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show in this new year.